Well, welcome back to Football Frenzy. The Wirt County Tigers are looking for their fourth win in a row.
Meanwhile, the Tolsia Rebels are just 2-6 on the year, but they're looking to finish strong. Let's head out to Elizabeth and see what happened there tonight.
Let's do it. Wirt County Tigers at home, like we said, taking on Tolsia. First quarter action, Tigers quarterback Tyler Smith drops back looking for a receiver. He throws a bomb to Andrew Lemley. Nice diving catch. Yes, sir. Later in the first, score is 9-0. Smith throws the ball down into the end zone, and Lemley comes up big again. Touchdown. Score 12-0.
That's his main squeeze.
Rebels on offense. Quarterback Robert Evans takes it himself. Is going to be stopped by the Tigers defense. Short gain. It's the second quarter now, and the score 19-0 still. Rebels near the end zone, and Evans hands off the ball to Loki Blackburn, who pushes through for the first Rebel touchdown. Tigers on offense now. Smith rolling out, and he finds Easton Wire for a nice gain, but no points on that drive. Rebels back in the red zone play action. Quarterback Evans throws the ball to Blackburn again. Another Rebel touchdown, 19-12.
Look at the scramble drill over there.
Heads up playing right there. Yes, at the start of the third quarter.
Back across the field.
Quarterback Evans, pushes through to the end zone for another touchdown. Later on, Wirt County will go on to get a win in this one, 31-28.
Well, Griffin, let's head out to Jackson County as the Ravenswood Red Devils hosted the Ritchie County Rebels as both teams were hungry for a win on Halloween night. In the first quarter, junior quarterback Curtis Owen would try to take it up the middle himself, but fumble, ball loose on the ground, and he gives it up to the Rebels defense, and now the Rebels take that, go on offense. Senior quarterback Turner Shriver would take it himself, breaking a few tackles along the way, and he goes in for the 15-yard touchdown, kicking off the scoring in the first half for the Rebels, 7-0. Late second quarter action here, quarterback Curtis Owen tries to find his receiver Jonathan Williams on a screen pass, but the pass is intercepted by senior Kellen Kress with no one in front of him to take it all the way to the house for a pick six, 69 yards. The Rebels would extend their lead to 14-0 before the end of the half. Now, on the ensuing kickoff, the Red Devils would fumble the ball, and the Rebels would recover for another chance on offense to extend that lead. Turner Shriver, with seconds winding down in the first half, would show off that cannon arm here, and who else? Kellen Kress coming up with the catch. He's got a touchdown on offense and defense, both sides of the ball. Ritchie County would be successful on their road trip to Ravenswood tonight, giving them a win with a final score of 48-22.
Well, in other scores from our area, we had some teams on the road in the first round of Ohio High School playoff football. In Division III, Region 11, Athens traveled to Delaware Buckeye Valley and lost by a final score of 42-13 to end their season. In Division 5, Region 19, Morgan traveled to Cole Grove Dawson Bryant and won by a final score of 43-22 for their first ever playoff win.
That's what we love to hear.
Absolutely. They'll play Wheelersburg top seed next Friday. In Division 6, Region 23, Eastern went on the road to take on Colonel Crawford. They lost by a final score of 35-7. Caldwell beat Grove City Christian 42-7. They will play Fort Fry in Beverly next Friday. In Division 7, Region 27, Strasburg Franklin took down Lucas 28-14. They will play Waterford next Friday as well. And in West Virginia, Williamstown picked up a good win, 46-26 against Wayne on the road. In Doddridge County, got to 9-0 with a 53-20 win at home over Lincoln. We'll come up next on Football Frenzy.
Two area teams earned a bye for the first round of the Ohio High School football playoffs. We'll hear from both teams to see how they used the extra week to prepare for their next opponent when we return.